Hi everybody, welcome to Push a Luck video. My name is Eric and today we'll be looking at Between Two Cities. Now Between Two Cities is a 2015 release by Stonemaier Games and is by designer Ben Rosset and Matthew O'Malley. Between Two Cities plays 1 to 7, so there's a very wide range. The 1 to 2 players is a variant, so it normally plays 3 to 7, but you could play 1 or 2 players if you wanted to, with the variants provided. So this plays about 20 minutes or 25 minutes or so, alright, and then it's a city building game essentially. So what you're trying to do is that you are trying to manage two cities on your left and on your right, but the twist is that your opponents, which is the player on your left and on your right, will also be managing the same cities that you are managing. So you're sharing a city. So you're both trying to build up the city as best as you can, because in the normal version of the game, whoever you will only be scoring the city that has the lowest point. So after when the game ends, you compare the two cities on your left and the right, and if you will only score the city that has the lowest points. There is a variant online now called Love Your Left and Kill Your Right. So that means you are trying to sabotage the city on your right, but you're only scoring the city on your left. So so let's take a look at how do you play the game and my thoughts about the game. Alright, so unlike other video reviews, I'm just going to jump to the meat of the game, which is the building tiles that you'll be building into your city. So there are quite a lot of these nice, thick single building tiles. There's also a couple of these double building tiles, which can be either up and down or left and right, like so. Alright, so there's a whole, these tiles are very nice, very thick quality, so very good quality, as you can expect from Stonemaier Games stuff. And also there's a lot of these city landmarks, right, which will help a player denote who they are, and also when the game ends, you'll be placing this onto the scoreboard. There's also a scoreboard as well, but it only comes into play at the end of the game. So most of the time when you're playing the game, you don't really need this at all. The rulebook is pretty concise, pretty detailed, with quite a lot of examples and very straightforward. There's also a very handy quick reference guide at the back, so I will use this to explain how to play the game. Now, the game lasts only 3 rounds. There's always drafting in each of the rounds. The first and the last round, you'll be drafting these single building tiles. The second round, you'll be drafting these double building tiles. All right. First, players will sit in a circle, and then they will start drawing. So first, you will draw 7 building tiles. So you just draw 7 building tiles, and then you will secretly choose 2 tiles. All right. You choose one for the left city and one for the right city, as I mentioned, and then after that, you will you will place the rest of the tiles that you did not draft on your left. Alright, that means the first round you're passing to your left, the last round you'll be passing to your right. Then after that, we'll reveal the tiles and we'll place one in the city on your left and then one in the city on your right. You can do it either way, but I usually go left first and right, then right. Then after you take the tiles on your right, that means you continue drafting again, and you keep doing that until only one tile remains, and then you discard it. Alright, so what you'll be doing each round is that you will be placing at most 3 building tiles on your left and 3 building tiles on your right. Alright, don't worry, your opponent will also be placing 3 building tiles on your left city, and your opponent on your right will be placing 3 building tiles on your right. So in this way, you'll be having set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll be choosing 2, and then you're placing 1 in your city on your left, and then you're choosing 1 in your city on your right. Alright, and then your opponent will be placing 1 here, and then your opponent on your right will be placing 1 here, like so, from the tiles that they drafted. Alright, and so you keep continuing going on. The round 2 is where you'll be drafting 3 of these tiles. You choose 2, right? The last one is discarded, and then you'll be placing 1 on your left and 1 on your right. These are duplex tiles. The last round, you'll be doing the same as the first round. You'll be drawing 7 again. Choose 2, and you pass the rest of the stack to your right this time, and you'll be taking the stack from your left. So in this way, the game will end, and then you count out the points based on the cities that you have, based on the buildings you have in your towns. And if you're playing a normal variant, whoever has you'll be scoring the lowest of the 2 cities that you have, and then whoever has the most points will win. Now, if you play the Love Your Left, Kill Your Right, then you're only scoring the city on your left. Alright, then whoever has the most points will win. Now, the main thing about the game is that there are many different buildings and they will score differently. So let's go through the different buildings and how they score. So there is a player 8, which I will get right now, that will help you to understand the scoring better. Alright, so this is the player 8. Alright, first, these are shops. Alright, let me find a shop town. So these are shops. Alright, these are shops. Now, if you place them in a row, alright, you will get points for all of them depending on how many you place in a row. So if you place 4 in a row, you get 16 points for the whole lot. Now, you can place them vertically or horizontally, but no building tile can be counted twice. Also, when you place it into your city area, you must note that the city limits is 4 by 4. That means you only can 4 horizontally and 4 vertically. You cannot extend over that. So at the beginning, when you place a building, it is free form. But once you kind of start forming this, the next building tile that you place must always be touching the existing building tile. The first one is free, but after that, next building tiles must always be touching an existing building tile. So you must always limit it by 4 by 4. You cannot also place over another building tile. It always must be attached to another building tile. Alright, so this is 2, 5, 10, and 16. Alright, so this is shops. Next is factories. So let me find a factory. This is a factory. Alright, so factory is kind of interesting. At the end of the game, whoever has the most factories will score 4 points for each of the factory they have in their city. Second most will score 3 points, and then everyone else will just score 2 points for each of the factories in the city. These are friendly ties. That means if there's more than one people who have the most factories, each of them will score 4 points for each of their factories in the city, and so on and so forth. Alright, so this is factories. Next, we have taverns. So taverns are these. Alright, there are a few different types of taverns. So there's a beer tavern, there's the food tavern, and there's music tavern, and then there's the inn tavern. So for each different type of taverns that you have in your city, you score this different amount of points. So if you only have 1, then you score 1. So if you have like more than 1 different types, so you score 4 points, 9 points, and so on and so forth. So you're scoring for each set of taverns that you have. So if I have 2 of these music ones, I only score 1.1 point. But I have a music and a beer, for example, I'll score 4 points for that set. Alright, so this is a set collection type of building. Next is offices. Offices, they'll score points for anywhere they are in the city. Alright, the thing about this is that the number of offices you have, you will also score more points. So let's say you have 1 office only 1 point, 2 offices get 3 points, 3 offices get 6 points, 10 points, 15 points, 21 points. Alright, in addition, if you have a tavern next to an office because you need to keep the office workers happy, alright, each office will also give you 1 more point. Alright, so if I have a tavern like so, like this office building will give me 1 more point. Okay, next is the park. The park, can I find here, park. Alright, park, as long as they are parks, as long as they are connected, alright, you score points for the connected group. So there's 1 by itself is 2 points, 2 connected together 8 points, 3 connected together 12 points, 13 points, and 14 points. Alright, so this is but it doesn't matter whether it's horizontally or vertically. Alright, last is houses. So houses are this type. Alright, they'll score points depending on how many other types of building types there are in the city. So you notice that there's shops. This is shops, factories, taverns, offices, and parks. So if you have all these different types in this city, this house will give you 5 points by itself. Alright. Now the only catch is that if a factory is placed next to a house, alright, then this house, regardless of how many other building types there are in the city, will only give you 1 point. Alright, so this can be used to sabotage. Alright, and yeah, so that's all there is. The difference will be this is that sometimes it's like vertically and horizontally, so you need to know when to place it. And when you place the building into the city, all the rooftops must always be facing the same direction, so you cannot like put it here and then put it here like that. Okay, and yeah, that's it. That's all the rules for Between Two Cities. Let's go to my thoughts about the game. Alright, so what do I think of Between Two Cities? It is fast, it's quick, it's easy to learn and understand, and very easy to play as well. It plays out to 7, so that is a bonus. And I think you can think of it as a 7 Wonders Light in a way, because 7 Wonders, you are also kind of building up your civilization, but you are managing your own kind of thing, but you're kind of interacting with the left and right neighbor civilization. In this case, Between Two Cities, you're actually both managing the city together. So you can think of you're like a multitasking mayor. You're managing the left city and you're managing the right city. If you play the normal version, alright, tends to go pretty fast, and there's a lot of tiebreakers, right? Because the scores are pretty close. It's quite amazing because you're thinking that, oh, I'm doing it in a certain way, a different way, but at the end scoring, you'll be surprised to find that a lot of the scores are quite similar. In our first game when we played, we had to use all three different tiebreakers in the game. Yes, the rulebook comes with 3 different tiebreakers. So we had to use all 3 to determine who's the winner. So that's kind of strange to me because most games, we don't really have a lot of tiebreakers. At most 1 or 2, all right, and usually it's quite a clear cut who's going to be a winner. But in this case, we had to use all 3 different tiebreakers. So that kind of feels a bit strange for me. I personally like the variant where you love the left and kill the right. So you can find it on BGG. That is very interesting for me because I'm trying to sabotage. So there's the element of sabotage which I like. And if I played this game more, I will definitely use that variant rather than the normal variant that came with the game. That being said, it is a very light game. It's over pretty fast. When it's over, you're like, oh, that's it. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. But it kind of left me feeling that I wanted a bit more. Usually most city building games and tiling games usually have a bit more meatier chunk. But I think that's not what the designers were aiming for. I think they were aiming for something that's light, quick, fun, easy to play, and it can play up to 7. So I think that's what the designers were aiming for. But personally, I would have liked a bit more. There are some city building games where you can send visitors around to visit different cities and stuff like that. So that might be an interesting thing to have added on. So for me personally, I would say that it is a good game. It's fun. It's pretty okay. But I wanted just a bit more. So I would say that this is a try before you buy. But doesn't mean that it's a bad game. It just may not have been the right game for me. So thanks to Stonemaier Games and Jamie for sending me this review copy, and thanks for watching.